followers that they'd be better off minding their own business. Wow. Would they be better off turning the TV off? CBA, don't go as players hope. Reese thinks women in the WNBA deserve higher pay. Some fans are afraid to strike.
What happens when the fastest growing star in women's basketball tells her own fans their opinions don't matter? Angel Reese just did exactly that, and it's causing a massive stir across the sports world as WNBA viewership is hitting all-time highs. The timing couldn't be worse as players are demanding more money while simultaneously pushing back against the very fans they need.
You need to come to the meetings. I gotta get in the meetings because I'm hearing like, yeah, they don't give us, if y'all don't give us what we want, like, we sitting out.
That's a possibility.
You're about to see the numbers that prove the WNBA is on the verge of something huge, and how one player's comments might be throwing it all away right when the league needs unity the most. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Sue Bird just dropped a bomb prediction that has everyone talking. The next Clark versus Reese matchup could hit over 3 million viewers.
And it's against Angel Reese. So my guess, we're gonna see like 3+ million viewers.
That's not just big for women's basketball. That's historic. The WNBA has never seen numbers like this before. We're talking about viewership that would rival some NBA regular season games. And the craziest part, the data is backing her up. Look at what's happening right now with the WNBA. Games are seeing a massive 225% jump in viewers compared to last year. That's not just growth, that's an explosion. Women's basketball is finally getting the spotlight it deserves after decades of fighting for attention. The Mercury Liberty game on June 18th actually peaked at 3 million viewers. Those aren't just good for women's sports numbers, they're impressive for any sport. But here's where things get weird. Right when the WNBA is taking off like a rocket, Angel Reese decides to hop on social media and essentially tells fans to shut up. She posted on X telling fans they're feeling too entitled, thinking y'all's opinions matter about someone else's life instead of minding your own business.
Y'all be feeling too entitled, thinking y'all's opinions matter about someone else's life instead of minding your own business.
Seriously? This is how you treat the people who are finally tuning in to watch you play? I get it. Criticism stings. Fans were calling out her game performance and her constant social media posts. But here's what Angel is missing. Those comments, positive or negative, show that people actually care.
And at life, when you just live your own life and mind your own business, I promise, I don't give a rat's about that.
They're investing emotionally in her career and the league. That's exactly what the WNBA has been fighting for. The timing of these comments couldn't possibly be worse. Right now, the WNBA is in the middle of negotiating new TV deals that could transform the league's financial future. They're also preparing for the next collective bargaining agreement where players like Reese are vocal about wanting significantly higher salaries.
I just hope y'all know, the WNBA don't pay my bills at all. I don't even think that pays one of my bills. Let me do the math real quick.
He might cover that.
Possibility. Reese has been vocal about her low WNBA salary, revealing her $74,000 a year salary doesn't cover rent, stating on Instagram Live.
See the disconnect here? You can't demand more money while simultaneously telling your customers, the fans, that their opinions don't matter. Angel has even gone as far as threatening a potential strike if the CBA negotiations don't meet players' salary expectations.
CBA, don't go as players hope. Reese thinks women in the WNBA deserve higher pay. Some fans are afraid to strike.
She's been vocal about women deserving higher pay in the WNBA. And you know what? She's right about that part. Women athletes deserve better compensation. But the path to those higher salaries runs directly through fan engagement and media attention, the very things she's pushing away with her comments. Every major athlete in history has dealt with criticism. LeBron James gets ripped apart after bad games.
Please move along. And it's like, you do realize other players in other sports get heavily criticized and frankly destroyed on a regular basis.
Tom Brady faced constant scrutiny throughout his career. Serena Williams had to endure far worse than anything Reese has experienced. These legends didn't tell fans to mind their own business. They used that criticism as fuel while building their legacies and their bank accounts.
That they'd be better off minding their own business. Wow. Would they be better off turning the TV off? Women's basketball is finally getting attention, and now that it's getting attention, it's not the right kind of attention.
What Angel's comments reveal is a fundamental misunderstanding of how sports economics actually works. The more interest she gets from the public, good or bad, the more publicity the WNBA receives, and the more money she'll eventually make on her next contract. It's a direct relationship. Without fans caring deeply and emotionally investing in games, there simply isn't money for the higher salaries she's demanding. You know what's crazy? The WNBA is finally getting the attention it deserves. Rookies like Caitlin Clark are drawing in massive new audiences. Veterans are seeing their years of hard work finally pay off with real recognition. And right at this critical moment, you have one of the league's biggest stars essentially telling fans their opinions don't matter.
And I was like, what is she going to be talking about here? She's deciding to call the fans entitled.
Will the WNBA really hit that 3 million viewer mark for the next Clark Reese showdown? The current trends say absolutely yes, but only if players embrace this newfound fan engagement rather than rejecting it. The data shows people are tuning in at unprecedented levels, but that support isn't guaranteed if they feel unwelcome. Think about it this way. If you owned a restaurant that was suddenly packed with customers after years of struggling, would you tell those customers to mind their own business if they commented on your food? Of course not. You'd listen, engage, maybe make some adjustments, and be thankful they cared enough to show up. Here's the truth. We're looking at a make or break moment for the WNBA. This Clark Reese showdown isn't just another game. It's potentially the gateway to mainstream success that women's basketball has been waiting for, but the league is walking a tightrope right now.
Among others, Clark and Reese remain the two most popular players in the league. Their season opener, Saturday, May 17th, is already drawing attention. WNBA game between the Fever and the Sky. And about how much interest this game is going to end up pulling.
Players are fighting for their worth while the spotlight's finally shining bright. What many don't realize is that both positive and negative fan engagement ultimately drives the business. The magic formula? Players advocating for fair pay while embracing the fan relationship, even when it's uncomfortable. If the WNBA can nail this balance during this pivotal moment, we might look back and say, that's when everything changed.